Hi, I'm Bret Norvilitis, drummer for Gregg, Juke, and the Mighty No Stars, here with your video tip of the day. Tip 1, know your shuffle. So you're the drummer in a blues band. You're the backbone. And what beat is the backbone of a blues band? The shuffle. Here's what one sounds like. That's what most of the grooves are based on. However, if you got 3 sets to play in a night, you might get a little bored playing the exact same thing over and over. Your bandmates might too, if they're listening to you. And the audience, if they're paying attention, will too. Well, how can you mix things up, be creative, and still provide that rhythmic pulse? There's 3 things you can do. You can change the bass drum, you can change what you're doing with your right hand, either on the ride cymbal or the hi-hat, or what you're doing with your snare hand. Let's take a look at how we can change the bass drum patterns. I'll start with a fairly busy bass drum pattern, and I'll slowly back it off, and you can hear the changes in the groove. The pulse will stay the same, but there will be a little less happening with the foot. Notice the right hand pulse stayed the same, the overall feel stayed the same, but the bass drum busyness, if you will, went down a lot. That can provide a lot of space for the other musicians. Also, it can let you think of other things to do with your hands while you're playing a little bit less with your foot. Let's take a look at what you can do with your snare. Now, it doesn't always have to be that busy. That's one example. I'm going to play varying levels of busyness with my left hand. I'm going to start busy and work down to something very simple. Again, the pulse is going to stay the same. It's still going to be a shuffle, but by modifying just one element, you can still be creative in the blues context. Finally, whatever you do with your right hand doesn't always have to be that dotted 8th note pattern. You can play very straight quarter notes. You can play every other 2 and 4, the dotted pattern if you want. So now I'm going to play and mix up my right hand while keeping the snare and the bass drum fairly simple. You can mix up all these elements at once. You can change one at a time. It all depends on the context, the song. Is somebody soloing? Are you building things up? Are you breaking things down? But being able to manipulate all the different aspects of what you're doing really will provide good foundation for the band, as well as enough rhythmic diversity to keep everyone interested in dancing. That's been your tip for the day. Thanks.